So one of the things I've talked about in my previous video is that there are some transactions on NGX that can move the market massively. If a transaction is big enough to move the market, it's basically considered a whale transaction. And what you want to do as somebody who is either investing or trading the NGX is you want to know, what companies are making these moves. You want to know who is getting in on them and all of that, how many trades and all. And that is why you need this page. This website is called ngxpulse.ng. And if you scroll all the way down the website, let's go all the way down here. At the footer of the website, you will see this feature called Whale Watch. This is it here. I'm not going to click on it yet because I also want to show you that there are other things you can do here. You can pretty much use this website to monitor the Nigerian stock market, right? If you come to heat map, of course, your heat map will show you what the market has been like lately. What stocks are doing well, today, or what stocks did well, because I'm recording this video at night. The market is closed, as you can see. If you come to weekly, it will basically show you this 1 week so far, how the market is doing. I would have to zoom out to kind of like contain everything. It's a lot of companies, it's a lot of stock, but if you're on your phone, you should be able to see it clearly. But for the sake of this video, let's go to why we're here. So I'm going to go all the way back to the previous page, and when we're on this website, we want to come to resources and click on Whale Watch. So what this does is it shows you this whale page that basically monitors huge transactions on NGX. Now, for example, if you look at the largest single trade recently, was 667 million naira. 60 whale trades happened today before the market closed, and the most active stock was Seplat. Now, if I go to minimum value, I can change this to from 50 million to 100 million, which trades, were like 100 million. As you can see, First Hold Co. A lot of people offloaded their shares. Some people sold. It's funny because this gives you a perspective of day trading as well. Let's go back to 50 million. So something happened, right? A while back, people were buying First Hold Co. A lot of people were buying First Hold Co. But now, some of these people are obviously taking profit and they are selling massive units of their stock. So, being somebody who monitors the market, who monitors these whales, gives you a sense of where the money is going in the market. For example, if we come all the way here, you see before the market closed on 29th of July, which is basically today, before the market closed, you would see, they have noticed that two people sold MTN. This is 707, basically 77 million naira and 77 million naira. This is a lot of money. Two entities offloaded that much for MTN. So there's likely going to be a pullback on MTN stock in the coming days. For First Hold Co as well, there might be a correction. Now, this correction might not happen immediately. It might, take another couple of days for it to happen. It might also have happened as well, because one of the things you need to know about whale transaction is some of these transactions can actually happen offline and not, in some brokerage account. It's not like somebody decided to sell all their shares, this amount of shares on Cardinal Stone or Bamboo and Co. It might have happened, through kind of like an off the exchange transaction in a sense. But of course, it gets reported on the exchange. For Presco as well, when the reports of Presco came in yesterday, a lot of people, started speaking up about it. They were not happy with the fact that Presco reported their earnings and their revenue didn't really move much. So I expected this one to happen. MTN, you still see some people selling here. GTCO, also people selling. So now you're probably asking, so what are people buying? Well, let's look around. Transcorp, which is transnational corporation. A lot of people are buying Transcorp. There is also some huge 100 million, 60 million transaction on NASCON. Now, let's do something. Let's do something together. I am going to open stock bubbles and see if NASCON went up because people bought. Let's take a look at that real quick. So let's look for NASCON here. This is Elalix. This is CNIF. So we'll look for NASCON to see if the stock even moved a bit. For Transcorp, you see Transcorp is up 2%, 2.82%. The 2.82%, oh, this is it. This is it, 2.82%. The 2.82% happened because of, again, this big whale transaction. There's a lot of transactions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 transactions, and because of that, the stock moved up a bit by 2%. Now, these are millions of transactions. Let's look for something major that has happened recently. Let's look for transactions that were over 250 million naira. So FCMB, there was a transaction on 29th of July that was 250, that was 667 million. Also NASCON as well. So there should be some movement. Actually, there should be some movement. This was like a buy and sell, or maybe an order that did not execute, but this was a buy, this was a sell. So the first hold call pullback after these major transactions. Let's go to stock bubbles again. Let's look for first hold call and see if it has pulled back. If it hasn't, then it most likely will soon, but let's see. If you can't find it here, you can just Control F if you're on Windows, Command F if you're on Mac, and then first, let's look for first hold call. I didn't type that well. Okay, so this is it. Day, yeah, it was down by 1%, just 1%, and week on week it's up 3.65%. But as you can see, for the day it pulled back. Why did it pull back? Because there were a lot of sell transactions on the stock, so that is why it pulled back. Now for FCMB, let's look for FCMB. Let's see if it moved up. FCMB actually still has more sellers than buyers because it moved down by 4%. So this particular transaction might not reflect anytime soon. It might maybe reflect in the next 2 days if more people keep selling, right? Let's go to 500 million plus. Okay, these are basically 500 million plus ones. Let's go to 100 million actually, and then let's go to Seplat. There were a lot of transactions also on Seplat as well, but it was on 28th July. It wasn't just on the 29th. So you know what? Let's check Seplat for the whole week. How is Seplat doing? So I'm gonna check for Seplat. It didn't really move much. The transactions were not huge enough to actually move the market, because if you check for the week, nothing happened. When nothing happened like this, what you should actually know is something we call accumulation. When people are buying and buying and buying it like this, it's accumulating. What will most likely happen next is there might be a huge upside on the stock. So this is good if you're looking to get in on the stock. This is not financial advice, by the way, but this is good. And let's change this back to 50 million and then refresh the page. Okay, but yeah, this is how you basically see big transactions on NGX. Use this page from time to time to check what's happening, to see what's going on. Some of these things might not reflect immediately. For MTN, for example, I'm expecting it to pull back because there are some, sales on the stock, but these sales have to be significant enough to move the stock. It's still on green pretty much. There's a possibility in the coming days that if more buyers do not step in, it's going to go red. So that's it. Let me know if you have questions in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.